In life, there are timeless sayings that, when heard again, make us realize how many opportunities we've missed simply by dwelling on the past or fearing the challenges of the present. One such saying is, "The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is now." This isn't just advice about taking action, but also a reminder about the timeliness of every decision we make. In today's world, filled with challenges and constant change, taking immediate action can be the determining factor between success and failure. And if you feel that it's too late to start, remember that the second best time is now. Instead of looking back with regret and doubt, let us look forward with determination and a fresh spirit, knowing that every new day brings us fresh opportunities. In this video, we will explore the philosophical and Buddhist wisdom embedded in this saying, and discuss how we can start from the present moment, rather than living in the regrets of the past. A clear glass of water can become murky with just a single drop of dirty water, but a glass of muddy water cannot be purified by a single drop of clean water. This is a profound and meaningful image that illustrates the interplay between good and evil, purity and impurity, as well as the transformative power in life. This saying can be understood on two levels: human philosophy and Buddhist teachings. This saying reflects a truth we often encounter in life: how easily we can be tainted, yet how difficult it is to return to purity. A glass of clean water becomes cloudy with just a drop of dirty water. This can be understood as the ease with which we, as individuals, can be affected by our surroundings, by negative influences, lies, deception, or greed. Once clouded, the purity we once had can be lost. This represents the ease with which values, virtues, or ideals in life can be compromised. Sometimes, a small event, a wrong decision, or a sudden shock can cause someone to completely change, losing the good qualities they once held. But a glass of dirty water cannot be made pure by a single drop of clean water. This part speaks to the difficulty of changing and transforming oneself. A person who has become clouded, perhaps by greed, selfishness, hatred, or bad habits, cannot be instantly transformed by a small positive influence, no matter how pure. The process of restoring someone who has lost their virtues, their character, or their purity is a long one, requiring effort and deep awareness. From this perspective, the saying highlights the contrast between the ease of falling into negativity and the difficulty of returning to goodness. It serves as a powerful reminder that we must value and cherish our purity, for once lost, it is hard to regain. In Buddhism, this image can be interpreted through concepts such as dependent origination, mindfulness, and karma. The clear glass of water symbolizes a pure mind, the original state of a person before being tainted by greed, anger, and ignorance. In Buddhism, a pure mind is our inherent nature, but it is easily contaminated by desires, hatred, or ignorance. The drop of dirty water here represents attachment and negative emotions such as greed, envy, or hatred, which we often allow into our hearts. Just one negative thought or feeling is enough to cloud our mind, robbing us of peace and clarity. The glass of dirty water cannot become pure. In Buddhism, a clouded mind refers to one obscured by ignorance, avidya, where a person is overwhelmed by desires, anger, and delusions. A person with a clouded mind is driven by negative emotions, unable to perceive the truth or free themselves from psychological attachments. Once again, this points to the difficulty of cleansing the mind. To restore the mind to its pure state requires a long and patient process of mindfulness, meditation, and accumulating good karma. In Buddhism, this transformation cannot be achieved by a simple external influence, but must be a profound shift in thought and action. This saying can also relate to the Buddhist concept of dependent origination, where all phenomena arise interdependently and cannot exist independently. A drop of dirty water can muddy a glass of clear water due to the meeting of negative forces, while a glass of muddy water cannot easily return to purity because the negative forces are too strong and have created attachments that are hard to change. From this, we can derive several important lessons. Cherish purity. Life is not always easy, and we will face challenges. However, the purity of the mind, compassion, and wisdom are invaluable treasures. Once we allow our hearts to become tainted by negative forces, returning to our original state of purity is incredibly difficult. Transformation is possible, while a person may become clouded. Buddhism teaches that transformation is always possible. By practicing meditation, cultivating wisdom, and nurturing virtue, the mind can slowly return to clarity, though this process is not easy and takes time. Patience and self-awareness. Sometimes in life, when we see ourselves or others being influenced by negativity, we need patience. Only through patience and relentless effort can we cleanse our hearts and overcome difficulties. Thus, the image of a glass of clean water becoming cloudy with a drop of dirty water and a glass of dirty water cannot be made pure by a drop of clean water highlights the interaction between good and evil, purity and impurity, and emphasizes the importance of maintaining the purity of the mind. It encourages us to strive for self-improvement and seek positive transformation, even though the process is a long and challenging journey. If you are truly talented and diligent, you will not fear bad luck. This statement carries a profound message about the intersection of talent, hard work, and luck in life. To analyze this, we can view it from both existential and Buddhist perspectives, as each will offer a unique understanding of the relationship between these elements. talent and diligence. In life, talent and hard work are two crucial factors that often lead to success. Talent is innate, while hard work is the effort and perseverance that we put into refining and nurturing our abilities. Both can evolve over time, and neither is stagnant. When you possess talent and diligently apply it, you are capable of manifesting concrete outcomes in your career and life. This saying emphasizes that if you truly work to your fullest potential and maximize your natural abilities, you need not fear a lack of luck. Luck, while sometimes playing an important role in creating opportunities, is not the sole determinant of success. Luck is an external factor beyond our control. However, if you are talented and diligent, you will know how to create opportunities for yourself, and even transform misfortune into valuable lessons. When you work relentlessly and persistently, you create opportunities for yourself, rather than passively waiting for luck to knock at your door. Perseverance and effort. When you are both talented and diligent, you will not fear failure because you understand that failure is merely a part of the learning and growth process. Successful individuals do not sit idly waiting for luck, they make their own luck through persistent effort and unyielding perseverance. When you believe in your abilities and give your best, you will realize that nothing can stop your success except for your own cessation of effort. Buddhist perspectives on talent, diligence, and luck. From a Buddhist viewpoint, the concepts of talent, diligence, and luck can be understood through the lenses of karma, dependent origination, and mindfulness. Karma and dependent origination. In Buddhism, everything that exists arises from causes and conditions. When you are talented and diligent, you are sowing good karmic seeds, and therefore, good results will eventually manifest. Similar to planting a seed and nurturing it, you will eventually harvest a healthy plant. Luck is not a random or coincidental factor, it is the fruit of good deeds sown in the past. Talent and effort are the primary causes that create favorable outcomes in life. Therefore, if luck seems to evade you at any given moment, do not despair, for your efforts will gradually bear fruit in the future. Mindfulness and effort. In Buddhism, mindfulness is the ability to live in the present, to be aware of what is happening, and to act wisely without being dominated by negative emotions like greed, anger, or ignorance. When you live mindfully, you will not worry about whether or not you are lucky. Instead, you will focus on doing what needs to be done with full dedication, without the expectation of immediate results. When you focus on the task at hand, your efforts will naturally bring about results, and luck will no longer be a concern. Impermanence and acceptance. Buddhism teaches that all things are impermanent. Therefore, When you are talented and diligent, you should not depend on luck to define your worth. Everything changes, and what matters is maintaining inner peace, not worrying about external factors beyond your control. A practitioner of Buddhism does not fear bad luck, for they understand that everything is interconnected, and luck is simply part of the ever-changing flow of life. Key insights and takeaways. Diligence creates opportunity. This reminds us that luck is not the only factor in achieving success. While we cannot control luck, we always have control over our effort. Thus, we should work hard, develop ourselves, and create opportunities for ourselves. Talent can be developed. Talent is not fixed. It can be nurtured through persistence, learning, and practice. This means that even if you are not naturally exceptional, you can still cultivate your talents over time. In this way, hard work is the deciding factor in uncovering and maximizing your potential. Luck is an external factor. We cannot control all the factors in life, and luck is one of them. However, when we give our best effort and persist through challenges, we create our own opportunities. Even without luck, perseverance will guide us toward success. Do not fear failure. This statement also encourages us not to fear failure. In life, failure is inevitable, but what matters is what we learn from it and how we rise again. Luck may not come immediately, but diligence and perseverance will always lead us to our goals. Thus, this statement teaches us that if you are truly talented and hardworking, there is no need to fear bad luck. In reality, it is effort and perseverance that will help you create opportunities and achieve success, regardless of the circumstances. Don't fear moving slowly, only fear standing still. This is a deeply motivational reminder, encouraging us to persist in our journey through life, even if at times the pace feels slow. Slow, but still moving forward. In life, many people often feel discouraged when they cannot achieve success quickly or when they fail to reach major goals in a short amount of time. However, this saying affirms that moving slowly but steadily is far better than standing still. The key is not in speed, but in persistence and perseverance. We don't need to compare ourselves to others or measure ourselves against immediate success. Every small step forward is progress on a long journey. It is only when we stand still that we miss the opportunities for growth and movement. The importance of perseverance, much like a river, which may flow slowly but eventually reaches the sea, persevering with small steps will ultimately help us achieve our final goal. If we stop, we won't accomplish anything. Conversely, persistence, even in the face of difficulties and challenges, will eventually lead us to our destination. Self-discovery through action, By taking action, whether slow or fast, we are uncovering our potential and understanding ourselves better. Standing still often means no change, no learning, and no progress. Only by moving forward, no matter how small the steps, can we identify our strengths and weaknesses and make adjustments for growth. From a Buddhist perspective, this saying can be understood through the concepts of dependent origination, wholesome actions, and mindfulness. Dependent origination and progress. In Buddhism, the principle of dependent origination teaches us that all phenomena arise due to causes and conditions, and everything is in constant flux. If you remain still, you will not create the conditions for change or transformation. But when you move forward, even if it's just a small step, you are generating causes and conditions for your own development and transformation. Buddhism encourages us to act continuously, even in small ways, because that's how we bring about change in our lives. Mindfulness and moving forward. Mindfulness in Buddhism teaches us to live in the present moment, to be fully aware of each step we take. When you act with mindfulness, every step, whether slow or fast, holds meaning and can gradually help you resolve the challenges of life. Even if your actions seem slow, as long as you maintain focus and effort, each step brings you closer to enlightenment and liberation. If you stand still and do not act, you will not resolve the inner conflicts nor move toward liberation. Walking with impermanence. Buddhism teaches us that all things are impermanent, and nothing is fixed. If you remain still, you won't be able to adapt to life's changes. On the other hand, if you continue to move, even slowly, you will be able to adapt and transform amidst life's fluctuations. This saying, "Don't fear moving slowly, only fear standing still," serves as a reminder of the importance of never ceasing to move forward, even if it is with small steps, so as not to be left behind in the ever-changing flow of impermanence. Taking steps, even slowly, the message of this saying is a form of encouragement to never give up, even when faced with difficulty or failure. Moving slowly, while it may initially cause feelings of inadequacy, will gradually help you achieve great accomplishments if you persist. Don't let the feeling of not being fast enough discourage you, because true progress always comes from small, consistent, and determined steps. Don't fear failure. The saying also encourages us to not fear failure. Failure is not necessarily a bad thing if you learn from it and rise again. By continuing to move, even with small steps, you are constantly creating opportunities to learn and improve yourself. Transformation and self-improvement. To stand still doesn't only mean not moving forward, it also means not changing. Only through action, even small steps, can we improve ourselves and expand our potential. To not act is to forfeit the opportunity for growth. Mindful action, acting with mindfulness, means doing everything with awareness, attention, and full effort in each step. Even if your actions don't yield immediate results, acting with a clear and focused mind will keep you steady on your path. This saying, "Don't fear moving slowly, only fear standing still," is a priceless piece of advice, reminding us that action is the most important element in life, whether we are moving quickly or slowly. What matters most is perseverance and unwavering effort, because only when we move, even in small steps, can we change, grow, and achieve our goals. Don't fear failure or a slow pace, fear stagnation, for standing still means giving up the chance to grow and evolve. In life, there is no clear-cut distinction between tragedy and comedy. If you can emerge from a tragedy, that is comedy. If you remain lost in the joy of comedy, that becomes a tragedy. This statement asserts that there is no fixed boundary between the two. In fact, they can transform into one another depending on how we face life's experiences and situations. Coupled with existential philosophy and Buddhist teachings, this thought encourages us to live with awareness, viewing every event from a deeper perspective, rather than being swept away by emotions and circumstances. Tragedy and comedy are two sides of the same coin. Tragedy and comedy are not entirely separate realms, rather, they are two opposing aspects of the same reality. Every person in life will face challenges, suffering, tragedy, and also moments of happiness and joy, comedy. What matters is how we face and perceive these situations. Emerging from tragedy, tragedy in life can take many forms: loss, sorrow, failure, or anything that leaves us feeling hopeless. However, if you can rise above these trials, continue to walk forward in life, and find valuable lessons from your failures, then that is when tragedy transforms into comedy. This is a message about human resilience, the ability to rise above circumstances and find light after the storm. Immersion in comedy is tragedy, when you become too absorbed in happiness and joy without realizing the impermanence of life, without understanding that everything changes. You become vulnerable when these conditions inevitably shift. Living in joy without an awareness of the true nature of happiness can lead to a loss of mindfulness and deep understanding of life. This is a form of spiritual tragedy, where we fail to see the transient nature of existence and the things that can be lost. In Buddhism, the concept of tragedy and comedy can be explained through the principles of impermanence, dependent origination, and transformation of the mind. Impermanence. One of the core principles of Buddhism is impermanence, meaning that all things are in a state of constant change, and nothing is fixed. Both tragedy and comedy do not last forever. When you are immersed in tragedy, you must realize that it is merely a part of the flow of impermanence. Similarly, when you find yourself in a state of joy, you must also recognize that this joy is not eternal. Buddhism teaches us that understanding impermanence helps us avoid being swept away by extreme emotions and not to depend on external changes. Dependent origination. Buddhism teaches that all phenomena arise from causes and conditions. Tragedy and comedy do not occur randomly, they both have their roots in causes and conditions. If you can recognize these causes and not become attached to situations, you will easily step through tragedy to see the light on the other side. Buddhism encourages us to understand that all emotions, whether sorrow or joy, are not isolated but are intricately linked with different causes and conditions. Transformation of the mind. Buddhism emphasizes that all suffering can be transformed if we change our perspective and actions. When facing tragedy, if you can transform your mind, let go of negative reactions, and not become attached to the pain, tragedy can become an opportunity for learning, self-reflection, and growth. Similarly, if you are too immersed in comedy, you must also recognize that prolonged joy may lead to attachment and craving, which can eventually turn into a tragedy if there is no mindfulness. Tragedy as an opportunity for growth. This teaching tells us that in every hardship, challenge, or tragedy, if we can perceive it correctly and learn from it, we will grow and evolve. A life without tragedy would lack the opportunities to cultivate resilience, mental fortitude, and a deeper understanding of oneself. Tragedy is often the lesson of patience, courage, and the spirit of perseverance. Don't let comedy make you forget impermanence. Happiness in life is important, but if you become too immersed in it, losing sight of the impermanence and changes of life, you risk being hurt when things inevitably change. This teaching urges us to appreciate every moment of happiness, but at the same time, be mindful that everything can change. It is this understanding that prevents us from becoming attached to happiness, enabling us to live a life of mindfulness and truth. Liberation through the transformation of the mind. To avoid being trapped in tragedy or comedy, we must transform our mind. This means not allowing emotions to control our actions, but instead living with a mindful, understanding, and calm mind. In this way, tragedy will not overwhelm you, and comedy will not blind you. Both are states of mind that can be transformed if we view them correctly and act appropriately. Learning to live with both tragedy and comedy. Life is a series of fluctuations where tragedy and comedy always go hand in hand. Instead of avoiding tragedy or solely seeking comedy, we should learn to embrace both with an open heart, ready to learn and grow. By facing and transforming every situation, we can live a more complete life. This statement, "There is no clear distinction between tragedy and comedy," If you can emerge from tragedy, that is comedy. If you remain lost in comedy, that is tragedy, reminds us that how we perceive and act in the face of every situation determines its value. Tragedy and comedy are not fixed states, they can transform into one another. What matters is the mindfulness in our actions and our ability to transform our minds to live a fuller and more meaningful life. Without reading books, traveling 1,000 miles is no more than being a messenger. This phrase encapsulates a profound philosophical perspective on knowledge and the journey of life. It emphasizes that learning and experience only hold true value when we gain a deep understanding and wisdom, whether from books, spiritual practice, or intellectual pursuits, to enrich our journey in life. Knowledge as the roadmap. Life is like a long journey, where each person travels their own unique path. However, not everyone can travel effectively without guidance, a plan, or a clear goal. This saying highlights that if you don't equip yourself with knowledge, no matter how far you go, you are still just a messenger, someone merely carrying out a task without truly understanding its meaning. Without deep understanding from books or other sources of knowledge, we may waste time and effort in aimless pursuits, traveling far without knowing where we're headed. A journey without knowledge is meaningless. This statement reflects an undeniable truth in life. No matter how far you go or how many accomplishments you achieve, if you lack learning and an expanded understanding, you may find yourself like a worker without purpose, just a messenger delivering a message without understanding its content or significance. Knowledge is not just a tool for understanding but also the key to creating meaningful value in our journey. Learning as the foundation of growth. Learning and reading are vital to personal development. A journey far from home won't lead to growth if it's not accompanied by self-education and self-discovery. The crucial point is to understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. Books offer a way to elevate our awareness, broaden our horizons, and gain a deeper understanding of life's essence, enabling us to wisely apply real-world experiences. In Buddhism, knowledge is not only derived from books but also from practice and spiritual cultivation. Nonetheless, this phrase can still relate deeply to the teachings about the path of enlightenment and the exploration of life's true nature. Knowledge from books and practice. Buddhism values wisdom and mindfulness. To attain enlightenment, one not only needs to practice but also must understand the path they are walking. You may travel 1,000 miles, but without right view, samadhi, the correct understanding of the Dharma, the journey will lack true purpose. Similarly, as this phrase suggests, if you don't read books, if you don't arm yourself with the right understanding, you are merely walking through life without truly knowing where you're headed. Buddhism teaches that wisdom comes from learning and self-exploration, not only from teachings but also from direct experience and meditation. Wisdom and action. In Buddhism, learning and practice cannot be separated from action. Wisdom and right action must go hand in hand. We learn to apply our knowledge in real life, and only when we do this, can our journey hold meaning. If we don't fully understand the path we're on, our efforts will be rendered meaningless, much like a messenger who delivers a message without grasping its content. Building enlightenment through teachings. This saying also connects to learning the Buddhist teachings. Studying the Four Noble Truths or the Noble Eightfold Path forms the foundation for spiritual practice. If one seeks experience without studying the teachings, their journey toward enlightenment will remain incomplete. Buddhism encourages the dual process of learning and practice to ensure that our spiritual journey is properly directed and will yield beneficial results. Without knowledge, actions become futile. This phrase serves as a reminder that, no matter how hard we work and exert ourselves, if we lack knowledge and understanding, our efforts are but hollow actions. Reading isn't just about accumulating information but about expanding our worldview and gaining a deeper understanding of both the world and ourselves. Learning is a tool that sharpens our wisdom and brings clarity to every step we take. Learning as the key to development. This saying also encourages us to continue expanding our knowledge and never stop learning. The journey of life is not just about moving forward but about constantly absorbing, comprehending, and evolving from what we learn. Without learning, we will simply pass through life without leaving a deep mark. Knowledge helps guide our lives. In life, we will encounter countless crossroads and make critical decisions. Knowledge is not just a means to understand the world around us, it also serves as a compass, guiding us to make wise choices. By learning from books and other sources of knowledge, we create a solid foundation for the journey of life. Without reading books, traveling 1,000 miles is no more than being a messenger serves as a profound reminder that knowledge and learning are prerequisites for meaningful existence. Reading, absorbing knowledge, and continually expanding our understanding provide the foundation upon which we can walk through life. Without knowledge, no matter how far we travel, we are like a messenger conveying a message without understanding its meaning. We must treasure the learning process, for knowledge is the key that opens the door to growth and success in all journeys of life. The first button on the shirt is crooked, the others are hard to fix. The importance of initial decisions and their lasting impact on the path ahead. Initial decisions shape the long-term outcome. This saying emphasizes the significant impact of our first decisions in any area of life, be it career, relationships, or personal goals. A wrong step at the beginning can make everything that follows difficult and misaligned, as we now have to contend with the consequences of that initial choice. It serves as a reminder that being cautious in our important decisions is essential, because often, fixing a mistake isn't easy, and in some cases, it might be impossible. The crucial nature of the first step, the phrase also highlights the importance of principles and beginnings in life. A mistake made early on not only misdirects us but also sets a precedent for future decisions. This is why the saying "the first step is the hardest" is often heard, as it is the foundation for everything that follows. If we are not mindful from the outset, the journey ahead will only become more challenging. The importance of staying on course from the beginning, in major life decisions such as choosing a career, a partner, or long-term goals. Making the right choice early can save us from a myriad of complications down the road. If we do not prepare adequately or fully understand what we are embarking on, the road ahead will likely become much harder to navigate. From a Buddhist perspective, the right start and diligent effort are essential because the initial steps influence the outcome of the spiritual path and the attainment of enlightenment. This proverb can be interpreted in various ways. Every step creates karma. Buddhism teaches that every action creates karma. Even the smallest decisions can influence the course of our spiritual journey. A wrong step at the beginning may lead to consequences that are difficult to reverse, just as the saying goes, "The first button on the shirt is crooked, the others are hard to fix." Hence, right conduct from the very beginning is vital to avoid generating negative karma. Right mindfulness and correct action, in the Noble Eightfold Path, Buddhism emphasizes that every action, speech, and thought must be performed with right mindfulness and awareness. This saying reminds us to act cautiously from the start, not just in significant matters but in every action, even the small ones. If we begin our journey without mindfulness, it will be challenging to correct our course later on. Impermanence and the possibility of correction, however, Buddhism also teaches that impermanence is the nature of all things. While some mistakes may not be immediately correctable, through mindfulness, repentance, and practice, we can clear the karmic debt and return to the right path. Although we cannot change the past, each moment presents an opportunity to correct ourselves and begin anew. Transformation and the ability to change, while the first decision might be hard to rectify, Buddhism encourages continuous transformation and progress on the spiritual journey. This means that even if we start out wrong, we can learn from our mistakes and improve day by day. With the right intention and determination, we can still change course and achieve better results. Listening and careful contemplation before acting, this saying teaches us about the value of careful consideration before making decisions, especially in significant situations. Making the right decision at the outset can prevent many difficulties in the future. It encourages us to pause, reflect, and ensure we fully understand the consequences of our actions before taking the first step. Learning from mistakes. Although the saying might suggest that a mistake is unrepairable, in life, every mistake is an opportunity for growth. If a mistake can't be fully corrected, at least we can learn from it and change our approach moving forward. Nothing is ever beyond redemption, as long as we don't give up. Focusing on long-term values. Initial decisions often involve defining our core values. Choosing a job, relationship, or lifestyle can shape our future. It's essential to ensure that these decisions reflect our true values and long-term goals, so we don't regret them later in life. Constant improvement and correction. Even with past mistakes, the continuous process of self-improvement and learning from errors will help us progress. A wrong step doesn't mark the end of the journey. What matters is perseverance and determination to correct ourselves, evolve, and do better in the future. The first button on the shirt is crooked, the others are hard to fix is not only a reminder of the importance of initial decisions but also a philosophy encouraging us to be mindful and aware in every action we take. However, both human philosophy and Buddhist teachings also recognize that, even if the first decision is wrong, with mindfulness and a sincere effort to correct ourselves, we can still begin anew and move in the right direction. What is crucial is learning from our mistakes, knowing how to change, and never giving up on the journey of personal growth. True friendship is not about being able to talk endlessly for hours, but about being able to sit in silence without feeling uncomfortable. This idea highlights a profound and often overlooked essence of true friendship, the connection that transcends words, based on mutual understanding and spiritual closeness. It suggests that true friends are those who don't need to constantly express themselves verbally, but can simply be together in silence, still feeling the bond that exists between them. Friendship, in this sense, is less about the quantity of words spoken and more about the quality of the relationship, the comfort in each other's presence, and the ability to connect on a deeper, unspoken level. The essence of true friendship. Friendship is based on understanding and empathy. True friendship is not defined by constant verbal expression, but by a deep mutual understanding and the ability to share without words. True friends are those who can intuitively understand each other without needing to explain themselves verbally. A glance or a simple gesture is often enough for them to grasp the feelings and thoughts of the other. This kind of friendship is effortless, not bound by the need to always talk, but simply by being present in each other's lives. Sometimes, just being in the same space is enough to feel connected. Comfort and freedom from pressure. True friendship is when you don't feel the need to talk continuously to keep the relationship going. It is based on absolute comfort, where both people can sit together in silence without feeling awkward or lacking in any way. This reveals that real friendship is not about filling silence with noise, but about two people being at ease with each other's presence, sharing space without the need to perform. This is the hallmark of a deep, meaningful relationship that goes beyond the superficial use of words. Presence, not expression. Friendship is not always about long, drawn-out conversations, but about being there for each other when needed. It's possible that two people can go for long periods without speaking, yet their understanding and empathy remain. They don't need to explain why they are there for each other. The very presence is enough to communicate everything. True friendship doesn't require explanation. It exists in the shared space between two souls, a connection that transcends verbal communication. Buddhist perspective on connection. In Buddhism, the bond between people is not just formed through words or external actions, but through a profound connection from within the heart and mind, based on mindfulness, compassion, and the path towards enlightenment. Friendship of the heart. Buddhism values the friendship that arises from the heart, which is a connection based not on forced words, but on deep understanding, respect, and compassion for one another. True friends are those who can share experiences together, but do not need to speak much because they already understand each other's hearts. Buddhism teaches that real friendship is not built on words, but on understanding and compassion. When two friends can be together without speaking and yet never feel disconnected, that is a sign of a refined and profound bond. Mindfulness in friendship. Buddhism emphasizes living with mindfulness, which means being present and fully aware in each moment of life. In friendship, mindfulness means that you can walk together without needing to verbalize everything you think. The ability to be present and share without words is a sign of a deep friendship, where each person is mindful of their own feelings and the needs of the other, understanding each other without needing to speak. Silent understanding. In Buddhism, compassion is the foundation of all relationships. True friendship is when two people can empathize with each other not through words, but through shared emotions, a silent sharing of hearts. Buddhism encourages us to cultivate compassion not only for ourselves but also for those around us. In friendship, compassion is shown through the ability to understand and accept one another without the need for words. Non-self, anatta. In friendship, Buddhism teaches the concept of non-self, meaning there is no distinction between self and others, no room for greed or selfishness in relationships. True friendship is when two people are not focused on personal gain or expectations, but simply share and exist for each other in moments of silence. There are no mental barriers, only mutual respect and comfort. The value of silence. In modern life, we often become caught up in speaking too much, filling every moment with noise, and feeling the need to constantly express ourselves. However, silence in a friendship is not avoidance or distancing, rather, it is a sign of comfort and naturalness. True friends are those who can sit next to each other, without saying a word, yet still feel a sense of closeness. This insight encourages us to value moments of silence, for it is during these times that true friendship is tested and strengthened. Focusing on quality, not quantity, friendship is not measured by the number of words spoken, but by the depth of understanding and care shared. This reminds us that in life, true friends are those who can understand one another without the need for excessive words, who can share quiet moments and still feel deeply connected. Less reliance on words. Sometimes, we become overly reliant on words to maintain relationships, but the truth is that true friends are those who can be together without saying anything, simply by being present. This reveals that deep friendship is not about constant exchange, but about mutual understanding and acceptance, even in the silent moments. Conclusion. True friends are not those who can sit and talk endlessly without running out of things to say, but those who can sit in silence without feeling uncomfortable. This emphasizes that true friendship is not about constant conversation, but about comfort, understanding, and an unspoken bond between two people. In Buddhism, friendship is not built on words, but on compassion, mindfulness, and selflessness, where the mere presence of each other is enough to affirm the connection. True friendship transcends verbal expression. It is a relationship based on deep understanding, empathy, and the ability to share space without the need for continuous communication. It is a bond of the heart, a silent understanding that speaks volumes without the need for words. Horses are often prone to stumbling on soft dirt paths, just as humans are easily deceived by sweet words. This highlights the vulnerability and lack of caution that humans often exhibit when confronted with temptations, flattery, and seemingly pleasant situations that hide underlying dangers. The sweetness of words and the ease of deception. This comparison between horses and humans reflects how easily we are led astray by sweet words, promises, or temptations that appear harmless but are laced with deceit. Sweet words in life often come as empty promises or flattering speech, drawing us in through our desires, dreams, and greed. Like the soft dirt path that can cause the horse to stumble, such words lead us into traps, manipulating our emotions and desires. Vigilance against temptation. This statement urges us to stay vigilant and not be easily swept away by what seems too easy or too beautiful. We must scrutinize and reflect carefully before trusting in alluring words that lack solid foundation. What appears too easy often yields poor results, and sweet words can lead us to make life-altering mistakes. It's a call for discernment and caution, encouraging us to take time and reflect before acting. Do not let emotions overpower reason. Just as a horse stumbles on soft ground, humans easily fall prey to the allure of sweet words, emphasizing our susceptibility to emotional manipulation when we lose control over our reasoning. Sweet words, seemingly charming or alluring, can cloud our judgment, leading us astray when we fail to stay rational. This is a reminder that we must cultivate mental clarity, staying composed and thoughtful when confronted with enticing temptations. The deceptiveness in society. Today's society is rife with sweet promises, deceptive advertisements, and alluring invitations that many fall for. These sweet words are not limited to individuals, but come from organizations, politicians, or businesses, all of which can lead us astray if we fail to recognize the dangers hidden beneath the surface. Just like the horse unaware of the soft ground beneath it, we are often deceived by smooth talk, failing to see the inherent risks. This teaches us the importance of being analytical and discerning, ensuring we do not stray off the right path due to superficial allure. In Buddhism, the concept of sweet words can be understood as the illusions or worldly temptations that cloud the path to enlightenment. These external influences, whether words or actions, divert us from the true path of mindfulness, compassion, and awakening. Ignorance and self-deception. In Buddhism, ignorance, avidya, refers to the state where one fails to understand the true nature of things and is drawn towards superficial attractions, failing to recognize their impermanence or emptiness. Sweet words in life can be seen as illusions that make us forget the truth, tempting us with fleeting pleasures. Practitioners of the Dharma are advised to avoid desires and such sweet words, as they can lead us further away from mindfulness and spiritual clarity. Desire and temptation. Desire, tanha, is one of the main causes of suffering in Buddhism. Sweet words often play upon human desires, leading us astray and away from the path of awakening. Like a horse trapped in soft dirt, we become ensnared by desires and attachments. Buddhism teaches that to free ourselves from suffering, we must reduce attachment and desire, recognizing the fleeting nature of these temptations and not allowing them to lead us astray. Mindfulness and awareness. This statement also emphasizes the role of mindfulness, sati, in Buddhism. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully awake and aware of every moment of our lives. When we practice mindfulness, we are less likely to be swayed by sweet words or external temptations. We must remain alert, understanding the true nature of everything, and not let external allurements lead us away from the right path. Suffering from ambiguity. Buddhism teaches that self-deception, resulting from lack of mindfulness, is a significant cause of suffering. Just as a horse stumbles on a soft path, we too suffer when we are deceived by sweet words, failing to perceive the underlying truth beyond their pleasant exterior. To overcome suffering, we must free ourselves from illusions and always remain mindful. Mastering ourselves. This phrase serves as a reminder that we must learn to master ourselves, not being swayed by sweet words or external temptations. Things that seem easy and attractive often carry hidden dangers. Thus, we must remain calm, taking care not to make quick judgments based on outward appearances. Caution against deception. In life, there are many moments when we are drawn into sweet promises or situations that appear too good to be true. Sweet words come not only from individuals but from society, advertisements, or even ourselves. We must be cautious and always look at things with clear, rational judgment. This is a call to develop the ability to assess situations thoughtfully and avoid being misled. Mindfulness in every action. To avoid falling into traps or deceptions, we must live with mindfulness. We should not allow ourselves to be drawn into noisy, greedy lives, nor should we fall for the allure of sweet talk. By maintaining mindfulness and being aware of ourselves and our surroundings, we can avoid pitfalls and take control of our lives. Horses are often prone to stumbling on soft dirt paths, just as humans are easily deceived by sweet words is a profound reminder of the importance of vigilance and awareness in life. We must recognize the temptations, the flattering words, and the deceptive actions that may lead us astray, so that we do not fall into potential dangers. Whether in the context of human philosophy or Buddhist teachings, this lesson encourages us to remain alert, steadfast, and not easily swayed by seductive words or external allurements. Don't fear that you don't know something, fear that you are unwilling to learn about it. This powerful statement conveys a profound message about the spirit of learning, self-education, and personal growth. It encourages us to face our knowledge gaps with courage and to embrace learning rather than fear the unknown. Embrace your knowledge gaps and expand your capacity for learning. This saying highlights the importance of our attitude toward learning rather than the amount of knowledge we possess. Everyone has gaps in their understanding, and this is a natural part of life. What matters is not fearing those gaps but instead actively seeking to learn, explore, and continuously grow. Every time we encounter something we don't know, it becomes an opportunity to broaden our perspectives and strengthen our abilities. Overcoming the fear of ignorance. One of the main obstacles to learning is the fear of not knowing something, especially in today's world where information is a precious resource. This statement urges us to overcome that fear and confront our lack of knowledge head-on, embracing the opportunity to learn. Humility in acknowledging what we don't know is a key trait that helps us progress and develop. We must recognize that ignorance is not a weakness, but an opportunity for growth. continuous learning and development. Life is a never-ending journey of learning. This statement reminds us that learning is not just about acquiring knowledge, it is also about developing life skills and problem-solving abilities. It's never too late to begin learning something new. The important thing is to keep striving and remain open to learning from every situation and individual we encounter. The process of self-improvement is ongoing, and every moment holds the potential for learning and growth. In Buddhism, learning goes beyond acquiring worldly knowledge. It is also the process of spiritual cultivation aimed at achieving enlightenment and liberation. Buddhist principles about wisdom emphasize the need to accumulate knowledge throughout life, never stopping the quest for learning, and continually refining oneself. This saying reflects the spirit of Buddhist practice as follows. The spirit of learning in Buddhism. Buddhism teaches that in order to reach enlightenment, one must study and practice the profound truths of life. This is not just about theoretical knowledge but also about embodying practices such as mindfulness, compassion, and the Eightfold Path in daily life. It is not the lack of knowledge we should fear, but the failure to absorb and apply those lessons in our lives. When learning, we must be open and humble, willing to receive valuable insights from the experiences of others and from the Dharma. Maintaining a spirit of progress and eagerness to learn. In Buddhism, the desire to learn is not just about gathering information, it is an integral part of the process of spiritual development. This saying reminds us that we should not be afraid to face what we don't know but should embrace the courage to learn from everything around us, even from our mistakes or failures. Accepting our ignorance and continuing to learn is one of the ways to cultivate our minds and free ourselves from the suffering of the world. Never stop learning to achieve enlightenment. Buddhism views learning as an essential part of developing wisdom. Learning is not only for understanding the world but also for liberating the mind from afflictions. This statement encourages us to keep learning, to approach the world with an open heart and a clear mind, thereby drawing closer to enlightenment. The spirit of progress. This saying also encourages us to maintain a spirit of progress, to continuously learn, grow, and improve ourselves. Every area of life, whether it's education, career, or life skills, can be enhanced if we are proactive in seeking knowledge and not afraid to start from scratch. Learning helps us become wiser, better equipped to face challenges, and more capable of achieving our life goals. Facing the fear of ignorance. Accepting ignorance is the first important step toward learning. We should not fear what we don't know but rather see it as an opportunity to explore and grow. Learning doesn't just happen in classrooms or through books, it can also come from real-life experiences, the people we meet, and even the challenges we face. Learning from mistakes. As in Buddhism, learning often comes not only from successes but also from our failures. When we make mistakes, we should not feel defeated or fearful but see them as valuable lessons that help us grow and gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. Humility in learning. One of the key virtues in the process of learning is humility. No one can know everything, and acknowledging our ignorance helps us stay open to learning from every resource and individual around us. This humble approach fosters growth and wisdom. Don't fear that you don't know something. Fear that you are unwilling to learn about it is a profound reminder of the importance of the learning spirit in life. We should not let our ignorance make us afraid or insecure. Instead, we should view every gap in knowledge as an opportunity for self-improvement and growth toward enlightenment. Both in philosophy and in Buddhism, this lesson encourages us to always maintain a spirit of progress, to keep learning, and to be ready to move forward, regardless of the challenges or mistakes life may present. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. This timeless proverb speaks not only of the importance of timely action and decisiveness but also carries a profound philosophy about the past, present, and future. It opens our eyes to the importance of starting today, regardless of missed opportunities in the past, and encourages immediate action rather than dwelling on what has already passed. Analysis through the philosophy of life. 1. Do not regret the past. This saying first prompts us to reflect on the past. The ideal tree, or any action in life, would have been best if initiated earlier, much like planting a tree 20 years ago. However, this does not imply that we should regret our past decisions. Rather than lamenting missed opportunities, we must acknowledge that the past is beyond our control, and our present actions will shape our future. The message encourages us not to live in regret but to begin today, as what matters most is acting now. 2. Every moment is an opportunity. While planting a tree 20 years ago may have been ideal, today is still a great time to start. This wisdom advises against letting the fear of being too late hold us back. If we constantly wait for the perfect moment or dwell on the past, we will never take action. The best time to do anything is now. Seize the present opportunity and create results from your own actions. 3. It's never too late to begin. One powerful message embedded in this proverb is that it is never too late to start. While you cannot change the past, you can still influence your future by acting today. Similar to planting a tree, if you don't plant now, you won't have shade 20 years from now, but if you plant today, you will begin to see the fruits of your labor in time. 4. The importance of the present moment in Buddhism. In Buddhist philosophy, the present moment is regarded as the most important. This saying resonates deeply with Buddhist thought, where mindfulness and living in the moment are fundamental aspects of spiritual practice. Buddha taught that instead of worrying about the past or future, we should fully engage with the present because it is the only moment we have to practice, grow, and create meaningful changes in our lives. 5. Patience and perseverance in action. Planting a tree, like spiritual practice or learning, requires patience, perseverance, and consistent effort. In Buddhism, even the smallest actions done mindfully and persistently will yield results over time. This proverb reminds us that, no matter how much time has passed, if we start taking deliberate action now, we will eventually reap the rewards of our efforts. 6. The law of cause and effect. One of the fundamental principles in Buddhism is the law of cause and effect, karma. This proverb highlights that every action today will lead to consequences in the future. Just like planting a tree now, you may not see immediate results, but the efforts you make today will bear fruit in time. Instead of lamenting missed opportunities, focus on planting the seeds of wisdom, kindness, and good deeds today, so you can harvest the results later. 7. Don't live in regret. The most important takeaway from this saying is not to live in regret over the past. Acknowledge that you cannot change what has already happened, but you can choose to take action now to shape your future. No matter how many opportunities you may have missed, the best time to begin making a difference is now. 8. Start today. This saying encourages us to act immediately. Whether it's something small or large, you can begin right now. You may not see the results instantly, but persistent effort and dedication will help you build a brighter future. If you want to grow a large tree, plant the seed today, even if it doesn't grow overnight. 9. The ability to change oneself. No matter what stage of life you are in, you can always change. Each small step can lead you toward a better future. Start now to alter your habits, develop yourself, and keep striving toward your long-term goals. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. This proverb delivers a powerful message about the importance of immediate action and seizing opportunities. It encourages us not to dwell in regret over the past or worry about what has already passed, but to utilize the present moment to shape our future. In the context of both life philosophy and Buddhism, this saying gains even greater significance when aligned with principles of patience, compassion, and mindfulness in action. Therefore, instead of waiting for the perfect moment, begin now, for the best time to act is always in the present. Through our reflections on the saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is now, we've come to recognize a profound truth. In every aspect of life, action in the present is the key that unlocks the door to the future. No matter how many opportunities you may have missed in the past, or how time cannot be reversed, the present moment is always the best opportunity to start anew. Buddhism teaches us that every action, no matter how small, has a powerful impact on the future. By beginning today, even with just one small step, you are sowing the seeds for a brighter tomorrow. Time waits for no one, but if we learn to act with patience, mindfulness, and relentless effort, each step we take today will yield sweet fruits in the future. Remember, the best time to change is now. As long as you persevere, you will see the fruits grow from the seeds you plant today. Do not fear the past, but live fully in the present and create a better future, for yourself and for those around you. Thank you for watching today's video. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to Dharma Wisdom Talks, so we can continue exploring deep life philosophies and valuable lessons from the Dharma together.